Hello, everybody. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. So excited to be here. I'm Sherri Snelling, and I am a gerontologist and author, as many of you know, and I'm also going to be hosting our 5th annual Caregiving Club Holiday Gift Guide. We're so excited to share this year's ideas, and we've received so much input from people who have sent us things to evaluate and suggestions from others. So we want to get right into it. But first, I wanted to explain a little bit of my background and costume, because you're going to probably be watching this on YouTube. So I've got my Grinch outfit on, and I don't want you guys to think that I am the Grinch. I just love the Grinch, first of all, because he's green, and I love everything green. But, for me, the Grinch was always one of my favorite animated cartoons as I was a child and a kid growing up, and even as an adult, because it's a story of redemption. It's a story of how we can let negative feelings and challenges and social isolation and other things, loneliness, overcome us, particularly during the holidays. And we can just feel grouchy and grumpy and grinchy, but yet we really just need to dig a little bit to find that joy and that happiness. And as we all know from the Grinch book and also the animated cartoon, eventually the Grinch finds his tribe. He finds his friends, he finds love, and he finds what all of us are looking for, which are those wonderful relationships that so often I think we come to appreciate and be grateful for during the holiday season. So with that, we're going to launch into our, as I said, our 5th annual Caregiving Club Holiday Gift Guide. We're so thrilled. This is always a really popular video for us to post every year. And I want to just note a couple of small things that we did this year. First of all, where we were able to get information from the manufacturers that their product has been approved as an eligible expense against a flexible spending account or a health savings account at work through your employer. Many of us have those, HSAs or FSAs. We noted that because we wanted you to be aware that this could be part of that benefit that you can use those pre-tax dollars for. The other thing is we also made a quick note that if any of these products or services were located in the LifeMart, that is a discount shopping, online shopping resource. It is for employees of certain employers. So your employer has to accept it, and then you sign up. The membership is free, but you do have to sign up and sign in, and then you get discounts on a lot of different projects or products and services. And I actually worked with the LifeMart team to curate a lot of the senior care and older adult care products and services that are in the LifeMart now. So that was a really great project that I really loved. And we have had in the past, some of our gift ideas have definitely been in that LifeMart. And we're going to have links to all of our other 4 annual gift guides. So you can check all of those things out because they're still wonderful gift ideas from years past. But we always try to be fresh every year and bring you new ideas and bring you new things to think about. So I just want to make those 2 notes because you're going to see those 2 little icons on some of the pages here for some of the products and services that we're going to talk about. And again, what we did is instead of doing one big, long, giant video for you to watch, we broke it into the 3 categories that we have. So we have, of course, our caregiver wellness and self-care and me time gift ideas. And then we have our wellness for older adults. And we do include also some gift ideas for those adults who have dementia. And then finally, we have our wellness for the home, which is a really exciting one too. So we're going to have those 3 videos. We'll edit those separately so you can watch each one depending on which one you might be interested in, or if you only have a few minutes, you can watch each one just for a few minutes and then get to the next one on the next day or whatever. So with that, we just want to say we hope you have a wonderful holiday season. Happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays to everybody out there, and happy shopping. So we just had to get Penny as the Grinch's companion here. As you can see, she's got her little Grinch hat on. Had to get her on camera to say happy holidays and Merry Christmas to everybody, and also happy shopping and happy sleeping, which is something Penny does really well. Happy holidays, everybody. So again, welcome to Caregiving Club's 5th annual holiday gift guide. This is going to be our gift guide ideas for wellness for older adults. So this is one of 3 total videos that we're doing. The other 2 videos for this gift guide are going to be Caregiver Wellness and also Wellness for the Home. So you want to make sure that you check those out. But let's get started with our wellness ideas for older adults this holiday season. So, very often we know that for a lot of our older parents or grandparents or in-laws, as a family caregiver, we're actually influencing or maybe even purchasing up to about 97% of the helpful products. And this can be everything from just their personal care to age tech, solutions that they may not be aware of, and other things that are just, kind of out there. And the problem that we have, or the challenge, I guess, that we have as family caregivers is very often we don't even know this stuff exists. Like, we know all of the medical devices like wheelchairs and walkers and canes. Although I will say, if you were to go into a mobility store, so an actual retail bricks and mortar, which are around, the country in different cities, or even if you went onto Amazon, you're going to have all these choices and things as simple as that. How do you know which ones are right? So, but with so many other solutions, whether it's the age tech solutions out there that are so innovative or other things, we just don't even know they exist. And that is why we do this holiday gift guide, because we want to bring that awareness to you so you have this on your radar. And it can be something that if you're not a caregiver, you can share with a friend or other family member who may be caregiving. But we're just out, we're here to help you and also to give you some really different, innovative ideas. Now, we've also included in this particular video our ideas for Dementia Care gift ideas. We know that 1 in 3 adults over the age of 85 will have some type of dementia, but we know that just because you get a diagnosis for dementia, it doesn't define you. You still feel joy. You still feel the wonder of the world. You still have interest in things, even as the disease progresses. And so we want to bring the ideas to you because I know that it can be very devastating for a family caregiver and for a family who has a loved one with dementia to get that diagnosis. But there are some really innovative things being done out there. So we want to share those with you as well. So let's get started. Okay, so our first gift idea is what we call Walk This Way, as in the famous song. And I hope I'm saying this correctly. It's Vivea. I think that's how you say it, but it's a shoe, a new shoe brand. And it's really great because not only are these the kind of slip-in, slip-on type shoes, but they're also eco-friendly because they're made from recycled materials, but they're super comfy. So they're created with fashion and function in mind, and of course that eco-friendliness. They're great for anyone of any age, but again, they're particularly easy and comfortable for older adults. And this is, we're seeing this now. Our first holiday gift guide, we had Kizik's, which is a brand of shoe that kind of originated the whole step into the shoe real easily, and the heel pops up. You don't have to bend over. You don't have to do Velcro anymore and, have those ugly looking things. But, that's kind of the new design. And again, it's universal design because it isn't just for older adults, even though it is easier for them and it's easier for anybody who has back pain or arthritis. But, just make it easy, right? We're all looking for easy. Caregivers are looking for easy. So this is just another example of that kind of step-in design, but again, with that eco-friendliness kind of side to it. So they come from, the designs are, I looked at mostly the flats, but they do have boots and other things as well. But, they're sharp, they're classic, but they can also go whimsical, as you see in the little cat video there, or fitness ready. So you see in the walkers there that you just slip right on. But these are really the shoes of the season. And they have the great padded insoles for comfort. So they really are very, very comfortable to walk in. And by the way, that little picture at the bottom, that's, the Penny pup. My puppy, and then Penny's face is on those particular Vivea shoes. So of course I had to buy them. But they usually run about $79 to $139. However, Black Friday, they're having a 30% off, so not too bad. So you can find these on Vivea.com. It's Vivaia.com or Amazon.com. Okay, our next gift idea is really interesting because, fireplaces, I think, are something that are really part of that hygge. We talk about hygge. I hope I'm saying that right for all my Danish friends out there. But it does come from the culture of Denmark, and it's about coziness. And a lot of that has to do with warmth, right? Bringing warmth into the home. And so for those of us who long for the fireplaces of, our homes or our cabins or whatever. That is something that we all look for. But, fireplaces can be touch and go with older adults sometimes because there's the safety factor and you don't want your loved one to, get burned or forget and leave it on. And then the embers spark a fire. There's a whole bunch of stuff we have to think about. So this is something really interesting. I call this Come On Baby, Light My Fire. Again, we try to think up song names for these, but this is a water vapor safe fireplace. So what is that? Well, we want to stay warm during the winter months and, all of our energy bills are escalating, right? But what if you could actually trick your brain into thinking it was warm inside? So this water vapor fireplace has an app smart control. It uses 3D atomization, and it gives you that psychological sense of warmth. So even though it is not hot to the touch, which is the really great safety factor, you can actually put your hand through this because it's really just atomized water. But when you look at it, you just start to feel cozier, right? You start to feel that warmth. So the reality is, no, it won't physically keep your body warm, but your brain associates the visual and auditory cues of a fire because it has flickering flames and crackling sounds. So it still gives you that comfort, that relaxation, and that sense of warmth, leading to that cozy hygge feeling and also potentially lowering your blood pressure. So there's a health benefit. It uses a built-in misting system that creates that kind of mesmerizing illusion of a realistic flame. And then the misting flames, you can get the traditional fire color, the orange yellow, or you can go kind of, a little colorful and go rainbow there. But it adds a touch of elegance and tranquility to any room. It's really easy to set up. It's designed again for safety and user friendliness. There's a 5-foot power cord, so you do plug it in. It uses, the electric outlet. It's got a dimmable feature, so you can make the flames higher or lower. And then it's energy saving because it's got the low 200 watts. And it runs for about 20 hours at a time. And then you have to kind of replace, the type of water that you use. You'll get all the instructions and everything. But it's a real steal because I found when I first started researching these, I was finding them for like $2,500, $5,000 for really upscale homes because I'm doing a lot of work now with real estate agents and interior designers, and particularly for people who are looking for, the multi-million-dollar home kind of setup. So I was like, well, this is not going to work for the gift guide. And then I found this on Amazon, $309. There you go. Not too shabby. And you can still get really a lot of the same experience that you would get from those really super high-end atomized fireplaces. So think about it. It's kind of a nice way to give your loved one kind of that sense of coziness back if for whatever reason they've had to move or they don't have their fireplace going anymore for safety factors. Okay, this next gift idea, I have to tell you, we have been in love with GoGo Grandparent forever. Justin Bogard and his co-founder came up with this concept based on their own personal experience with grandparents not having that mobility access. And yet we know how important it is, right? We know that 1 in 2 American adults are chronically lonely. We also know that a lot of our older adult population who doesn't drive anymore, they can become socially isolated. Their social health declines because they're not getting out as much or participating as much as they used to. So GoGo Grandparent has the answer, and it is such a great gift idea this holiday season. So it really connects seniors and also people with disabilities to a lot of different essential services, but they started with rideshare. So you just call up. You can use a landline phone, by the way. You don't have to download any app, although you can. They have both. You can order rides. You can also get delivery of groceries and meals and prescriptions and a lot of other things. They do partner with Uber and Lyft, but here's the difference. The traditional Uber and Lyft drivers don't typically pick up people who have a wheelchair or a walker or sometimes even a cane. They just don't want to get out of the car and help people in and out. They don't want to put the stuff in their trunk. So, that's pretty typical of any taxi service as well. But what GoGo Grandparent has done is they've partnered with Uber and Lyft and their health divisions, and they have made sure that those riders have agreed, yes, I will pick up an older person who has a cane or a walker or a wheelchair. I will help them in and out of the car. And on top of that, GoGo Grandparent serves as the concierge. So they are tracking your loved one. They are making sure they got picked up right. And if the driver, for instance, is way down at the end of the street on the other side, they're going to tell them, no, no, you got to do a U-turn and come around and pick this person up. Remember, they can't walk all the way down the block to get to you. So they're really kind of managing the whole experience, and they're making sure that your loved one gets to where they need to get safely. And that is such peace of mind for family caregivers. That is like worth the price, of whatever it is. So this is really important. And I think that it's so innovative, and they're using it to not only keep our older loved ones safe, but to make sure that they've got that joy and happiness in their life, which comes from, getting out there, right? Don't stay locked up and sedentary in your home. You want to get out there and enjoy what the world has to offer, particularly that social part of health. So here's the deal. A lot of the partners of GoGo Grandparent are health plans. So Medicare Advantage plans. A lot of senior living communities use them. Other providers like health hospitals and other health providers. And so you may want to check first with your loved one's insurance, plan, or if they're living in senior living, check there first, because then you can coordinate the GoGo rides, kind of through them. Sometimes the health plans will actually offer a number of free rides. I know they're doing that sometimes for veterans and also for for caregivers to get some free rides for their loved one based on their health plan. Some of the health plans are including that. So there's a lot of nuances, and everything changes every year. So it's just really best to start there. However, you don't have to have any of that to go with GoGo. You can do an individual membership, and you just call, and your first ride, they ask you a few questions. They kind of say, okay, we're going to sign you up. And the costs, of course, are very similar to rideshare. It's based on the distance and the location and all that. But they start at about $11.72 a month. And then you do get, that's kind of your membership, if you will. And you get discounts and perks on other services. And then you also pay for the rides. And there's just a small little concierge cost. I'm not going to quote it because I don't have it in my notes here, but it's very, very low. And that's for all of their customer service folks to be live on the phone, watching over your loved one as the guardian angel for the rides that they're taking. So one of our favorites, we love those guys over at GoGo Grandparent, and so happy with their success so far. You can find them at gogograndparent.com. Okay. Here's another really great organization, Journey Health and Lifestyle. We call this gift idea Rise and Shine, and it's called the Journey Up Bed. And by the way, I'm going to go back just really quickly because I did note in our intro that some of these products and services are available through LifeMart, which is a discount shopping site for employees of certain employers. So if your employer offers LifeMart, and you haven't yet signed up, you have to sign up as a member. Even though your employer offers it, it's not automatic. You got to go sign up, but then you can find discounts on GoGo Grandparent under the LifeMart. And also, some of the rides are available for eligibility under your health savings account or your flexible savings account through your employer. So you may want to check that out, and it'll be a covered benefit or a covered ride. And then same thing here with Journey, their Up Bed and all their other products on their site. They are in the LifeMart as well. They also have the approval from employers to be a covered eligible benefit under HSA or FSA. So you can purchase these, and then it is, using those upfront tax-free dollars. But here's something really interesting. I kind of feel like everything old is new again, right? So yesterday's hospital beds, I mean, good grief, that's something you definitely didn't want in your home. It just screamed, oh my gosh, I'm old, I'm frail, I'm near death, right? But guess what? today, the hospital beds are everybody's favorite wellness trend. I have an adjustable bed and I love it. And most of my friends and colleagues and other people who are much younger than me have adjustable beds. And it's because sleep science has become so important to us, right? We know that better sleep is going to be good for our brain health, for our body health. And for people who are older, you want to kind of take that sleep science, that sleep benefit, but then you want to add on top of that the ease of mobility and independence. I mean, let's face it, if you struggle to get in and out of bed because you've got arthritis or osteoporosis, or you had a hip replacement or a knee replacement or something like that, and it just creates that struggle to get in and out of bed and where you need help. A lot of people just feel that their dignity is starting to fade away as they get older with some of these pains and, things that we have to face. And so a lot of these really great product designers are coming up with ways to overcome that. And this is one of those ways. The Journey bed is one we really love. It is a motorized bed, so it's an adjustable bed like we all think of, but check out those photos. So you just plug it into an electrical outlet, and it gives you those deep sleep positions. Zero gravity, by the way, is on my remote control, and I've tried it. It's how NASA astronauts sleep. It is supposed to be the second best sleep position that you can get into for good restorative sleep. The first, of course, is on your left side, and we did a whole conversation on our latest podcast in November about those sleep positions, if you want to check that out more. And it comes with a 6-inch memory foam mattress. So you can also get padded rails if you need them and want them. And sometimes, but look at how nice those look, right? Those aren't like the hospital beds, right? This is a padded rail that looks nicely designed, that is going to help assist you pulling yourself up to get out of bed. But you don't even need to pull yourself up anymore, because guess what? This up bed actually lifts you up like a normal adjustable bed would do, but then it can swivel and it can turn to the side and it can help you step out of the bed. Guess what? You don't need any help anymore. This is great for people who are really looking for that. I want to stay independent, help me do that. So this is just really terrific, and it's very user friendly. As I said, you use a remote. It's motion activated, and they have white glove delivery service available. Journey Health and Lifestyle has done a really great job with that, by the way. And it's a little pricey, but quite frankly, it's not that much more pricier than buying a new bed and mattress, right? You go out there and find a new mattress, you're going to be looking at about $1,600 up. So these can run, $1,600 or $1,700, I guess, $1,699. Up to about $4,000, but you can do monthly installments. As I said, you can also get your credit on HSA, FSA, so you can use those pre-tax dollars. And they are doing some really great Black Friday, Cyber Monday type deals, so you may want to check that out. And you can go to shopjourney.com. Okay, our next gift idea we call A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. And this is another one of our favorite friends, the Joe and Bella group, and Jimmy Zolo and Ben and the whole team over there. We just love these guys. They have totally flipped the script on adaptive clothing. Now, adaptive clothing has been around for a long time. A lot of it, though, has been focused on people who have, disabilities, or they have, paraplegics and other people who might have artificial limbs and things where the clothing obviously needs to have certain functionality. But Joe and Bella comes in and they can do all that and more. And they've really also embraced the older adult population who, again, they know have arthritis, which means it's really hard to zip things up. It's hard to button buttons. Sometimes you need a little bit more room in your pants because, you got some things going on. Maybe you have a colostomy bag you have to, kind of hide or whatever it is. So they have just done some fantastic stuff. And their fashion designer we interviewed, as well as Jimmy Zello, has also been on our podcast. Their fashion designer, she used to design for Aritzia and Lululemon and some others, so she's super adorable and also just one heck of a designer. But they began with their Care Zip pants, which you can kind of see over there where the zippers in different places. It really helps out. And then they did the gentleman there on the with the beard on the top, snap button shirts again. real easy. You don't have to button your shirt, but look at how slick and classy he looks. And then they've now gotten into their latest creation, which is called Hood Ease. And they just had a really successful Kickstarter campaign. You can check that out. But these are great looking hoodies and sweaters, and they have these hidden magnets. And the magnets actually guide the zipper to close. You know how hard sometimes it is to like put the thing in for the zipper, and then it doesn't stay right, and then it zips up, kind of like all becomes crazy. I do that all the time, or it doesn't work out and you have to keep redoing it, and it's so frustrating. This is where, boom, the magnet brings the zipper closes. You feel, as they say, that satisfying click. And then, because again, you may not be able to get your fingers around those teeny tiny little pulls on zippers, they have a very beautiful large leather pull. You can insert your finger through it, or you can grab onto it and pull it up and down. And again, it's independent. It's dignified dressing. You can do this yourself. You don't need help as much or anymore. And their prices start at $57 for shirts, pants, and sweaters, and go up from there. They do have a really great Black Friday deal, 35% off. Go to joeandbella.com. They also have a Joe and Bella store on Amazon, so you can check those out. And as I said, they're in the Life Mart as well, discount shopping. You can also now, I saw this is so exciting, you can use, this is, normally we think about these HSA, FSA, you can only use it for things like medical, durable products and stuff, but look, you can now use those pre-tax dollars on your health savings account, flexible savings account to purchase clothing for your loved one, which is a really, really great deal. So good, big shout out to Jimmy and Ben and everybody over at Joe and Bella. We love you guys and love to see the success that you're having. Okay, our next gift is called Take Me Home Country Roads. This actually is a recommendation from a woman who is now a friend that I met this year. She's 87 years old, and she is just in there, just totally killing it. She's a financial advisor, 87, smart, as I said, smart as a whip, travels all the time, has all these really great ideas. We're doing some stuff together for events and educational stuff and all that. Anyway, she turned me on to the Smart Travel lumbar pillow because I was complaining about the airline seats being so uncomfortable these days. And, my back, when I get up, I'm like, just hurts. And so she says, oh, check this out. This is like the thing that I use, this little Smart Travel, lumbar pillow. So this is, I think, one of the best things going, particularly if your loved ones still travel, whether they're in the car doing road trips or in the RV, or whether they're on a train or whether they're on the plane. We all need that support. So it's a inflatable, and it comes with the little pump, so you do it really fast, but it's a lumbar pillow for your lower, mid, and upper back. It's got all the excellent pressure distribution, so it really reduces that discomfort, and it promotes that natural S shape that is really the best thing for spinal alignment. And this improves our posture while we're sitting for extended periods. You can even use this in your office. My chair, which I love, which was on our holiday gift guide a couple of years ago, is the X chair. It has this built into the chair, but it's got a back strap that can adjust and connect to any seat. And it's real portable, as you see there. It just folds right up if you want to put it in your luggage. And what a great deal. They normally go for about $28, but guess what? Amazon's got a Black Friday deal, $20. This is a great gift idea. And then another great friend. We have lots of friends out there, by the way, which we love. But Lawrence and all the folks over at Get Set Up, brilliant stuff that they're doing. This is a platform for online education, but also social connections, right? So what you do is you sign up, and you can go and you can learn anything. They've got 5,000 different topics. So, you want to learn about Italian cooking? You want to maybe take some exercise classes or yoga classes? Okay, that's great. And there's a lot of people out there that do that. But guess what? They also can help you with bird watching, what to know about the different birds, maybe how to learn how to paint watercolors, maybe how to learn how to use your Apple Watch and all the apps that are on it, or all the things out there for age tech, or learning how to maximize your financial resiliency on a fixed income, right? Like, let's learn about Medicare and all the changes that nobody can ever follow year to year. And they will teach you because they've got experts. And here's the great part. All of the teachers are 50 plus, so they're colleagues, peers, older folks, and it really is designed for people. The students are also 50 plus. So a lot of the topics and stuff are focused on that particular part of the population. So they've got 4 million people now who are on this platform enjoying all this stuff. And you can take live classes where you can socially interact with, you do it obviously via like a Zoom online kind of function. So you can talk with people across the country, sometimes even internationally, because I know they're everywhere. Or they've also got the flexibility if you want to do on-demand watching. I know I did a session with them where we talked about self-care and balance in life, and it was when my book came out. You can still watch that session where I talk with their experts, and you can tap into that. So that's one of their on-demand watching sessions. But, they've got many, many videos and other stuff. You can do it on your own schedule. And the cool thing is they now have the artificial intelligence assistant, AI, Helen, and she helps you understand, as I mentioned, all those changes in Medicare that nobody can follow every year because they do change every year. Particularly the Medicare Advantage plan benefits, but also other Ascension wealth topics. And so Helen really gets you going. She gets you where you need to go, answers a lot of questions, and starts personalizing stuff for you as she learns more about your interests and, what you're into and all that. So it is a great way to keep our older loved ones engaged. Again, as I said, social isolation and loneliness can creep in, particularly if they're a little bit more sedentary and staying at home. We like to see them get up and out and be active, but if they're not and they still want to be engaged in the world, this is a great way to help them explore. And you don't have to have the hassle of trying to get them to an in-person class. So they've done a whole bunch of surveys and they put out these reports, and 9 in 10 students said they adopted healthier habits, and the classes helped them have confidence to age safely and happily at home. Okay, nothing better than that, right? So there's 2 ways you can get these classes. One is, again, you can check your health plan. If your loved one has a Medicare Advantage plan, check it out. It might be offered for free. You can get it through your employer. So if you're 50 plus and you're working for an employer, a lot of employers are signing these Get Set Up platform. Nonprofit groups, other organizations. I know there's a lot of area agencies on aging. I know the group in New York that is the New York Office on Aging, the group in Florida, which is also the Florida Office on Aging. Here where I live in Orange County, I know they've done a lot of work with the libraries and senior centers and the Office on Aging in Orange County. So through those groups, they're offering a lot of free classes. So you can check that out first to get it free, but you can also sign up for an individual membership, and it's about $20 a month, or almost $200 a year. But again, $200 a year for 5,000 topics that you could learn from is probably worth it. So if you want to do the individual, you go to getsetup.io. And if you want to check out if your organization has it, you can go through then the getsetup.com, and I think you'll find they'll guide you through all the stuff you have to do to get access to all of those great classes. But way to go, guys. Lawrence and the team have done such a great job at Get Set Up. We love their stuff. Okay, so let's get into our dementia care products. So the first one is from Memory Board, and we call these dementia digital love letters. And it's designed, of course, with people with dementia in mind. So it's very simple. It's got a big, huge digital display, as you see there. And then, of course, it connects to a family caregiver app for your smartphone, and that helps facilitate the communication with your loved one. So there's 2 different tablet sizes, 10-inch and 15-inch. And, it has the big date and time, which is very essential for people with dementia. It's hard for them to sometimes read clocks. So sometimes it's better when it's more of the text and they can say, oh, okay, it's October 1st. It does connect through a Wi-Fi, but there's an easy setup process that they can guide you through. And, a lot of digital devices like this, they'll show photos or videos. But I will tell you, while all that seems like, oh, well, it doesn't do this and it doesn't do that, I will just say people with dementia get very confused. And if there are all of a sudden photos popping up on their frame next to their bed or in their living room, they can become very paranoid, and it can be frightening. You don't want that to happen. Also, if you're sending pictures of the grandkids, they probably aren't going to remember who the grandkids are. They will say, who are these strangers on this frame that I have? They are going to remember pictures of you when you were a child, or pictures of themselves when they were younger. But all of those more short-term memories are probably pretty much gone. And so creating that confusion, that paranoia, that agitation is just not something you want to do. You do want those simple connections. So if they can read, they see the message pop up, and you can explain to them, hi, this is coming from my phone, Mom. We're going to pick you up at 11. And then, of course, the date and time is right there. So keep it simple is really how we want to keep our Alzheimer's and dementia adults and loved ones engaged. And you can also program reminders like medication schedules. So it ranges from $175 to $275. And they offered a special discount code, so 15% off using Caregiving Club's code CARES15. Thank you, folks over at memoryboard.com. We really appreciate it. And we think this is a really great gift idea for the dementia adult in your life. Now, Teepa Snow, it has been known as like an icon in the dementia world. She does a lot of education for family caregivers on how to communicate with a dementia loved one and provide that dignity in life that is so essential for all of us. And she has come up with these really cool, the old-fashioned calling card, like back in the Gilded Age, for those of you who are fans of the Gilded Age TV show. They used to leave their calling card. Hi, Sherri Snelling, drop by. You weren't here, so give her a call back, by dropping your card or coming over, because there were no telephones. But this is kind of the new age calling card. And what's really cool about this is that if you are out and about with your loved one who has dementia or Alzheimer's, and you want to do that, you want to keep them active because it does help reduce their wandering, it helps reduce their paranoia and agitation, and will help keep them hopefully in better sleep because their circadian rhythms are thrown off. They're going to be much more active at night, and then they're going to be sleepier during the day. So the more you can get them out during the day, it's better because then they will have more restful sleep. So you're doing this, you're taking them grocery shopping. Maybe even in the early stages of dementia, you're going to the theater or, going to see a movie or going to a restaurant. You realize that sometimes you may have to get up and leave, and that's fine. But, you want to try to keep them socially connected as much as possible and out and about with people. Not too noisy, by the way, and not too crowded. You want to be careful about that. But a lot of times people who have no idea about this disease will look at you like, what is going on at that table? Now, some people can be really rude. Let's just face it. I mean, come on. Let's all get a little educated here about brain health and about something that is going to affect 1 in 3 adults over the age of 85, right? They're going to have some type of dementia. So what Teepa has done is she's created a teachable moment with these dementia calling cards. And so they're printed up and they basically say, please be aware my companion is living with a brain debilitating disease known as dementia or Alzheimer's. And, it has a few more things on there that you're apologizing, but you're also asking for that empathy. And boy, are you going to see people turn on a dime, right? And go like, okay, you should feel shamed. I'm sorry. Yes, you should. If you were one of those people that was looking down your nose, like, what's the disturbance going on over there? You should, as I said, I'm sorry, get educated. And this is a great way to do it. Thank you, Teepa, for helping to give the dignity back to our dementia population, to help the family caregivers to explain in a very handy, simple, way to just hand these cards out. And to help all of us, I think, be kinder human beings, which is what we need. And these are so affordable. $15 for 75 cards. You can also get the pretty metal card holder there in silver for another $12.50. And you can shop at teepasnow.com. And finally, our last Dementia Care item is the Alzheimer's Fidget and Anxiety Apron. Now, a lot of you may know that adults with Alzheimer's, they do fidget. There's kind of something in, again, that tactile, touching things that are different, feeling, like harsh or soft or whatever, or, just twining ribbon or, twine around a stick and untwining it and then twining it again. There is something that, and a lot of people who have loved ones who have had autism sometimes have also dealt with some of these kind of repetitive fidgeting type, activity. And it's because they're probably sitting too much. They're too sedentary. They need stimulation. As I said, they need that activity. And this is a great way to give it to them. So what you have is an anxiety apron, as you can see there. It's got different kinds of fabric on it they can touch. They can unwind the twine on the sticks. They can do the zippers and zip, 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 zip. They can do all that stuff. It's got 10 different stimulating sensory and tactile activities. And, it comes with a cotton ball design backing. You can see on the upper little image there. So it's really soft and comfortable. Okay. It's not harsh or heavy for your loved one. It has adjustable straps and tie that fit all sizes. And you can find these on Amazon.com for about $18. You can also find them on Next. We're going to jump into the middle of this slide. So these are some of our favorite friends that we love. These are also really great shopping resources. I would say check them out for everyday needs, but also for gift ideas. You see the Dementia Care products there in the middle. So All's Authors has great books, movies, documentaries, all kinds of stuff, new films coming out. They talk with the authors. I was really honored to be interviewed by Marianne, who started this. So you can find them at allsauthors.com, the Alzheimer's store. And then 2 new players, Eugeria and Relish, we really love. They are curating fantastic products for people with dementia. So you can also find these fidget aprons on Alzheimer's store, Eugeria and Relish. So check those out. And then for older loved ones, CareWell, one of our favorite places. Bianca was on our podcast. We really appreciated having her on. You can find just about anything you need personal care-wise at CareWell. Caregiver Products also has a whole lot of stuff. We mentioned Journey Health and Lifestyle in this. They've got all kinds of stuff, including, the walkers and the wheelchairs and mobility devices and the beds and just everything. Best Buy is, of course, doing a lot in more of the age tech health area. And then for you on self-care, there are so many things we could list here in terms of stores, both bricks and mortar, but also online. But I wanted to tell you that there are some companies out there who are finally getting it. And it's not just about self-care. They're actually calling it caregiver gifts, which I love because they're finally recognizing the role of caregiver. And so companies like Anthropology have great self-care. Brookstone, of course, does a lot of like muscle relaxation, foot relaxation. The Happy Hygge gifts, we love. That's that cozy hygge. Harry and David has a caregiver gift basket. Home Court was started by Courtney Cox, the actress. And she talks about caregiving, and it's a lot of like scents and things for the home. Tommy Copper, one of my favorites. They do the bra that I wear every day. Okay, I'm sorry, too much information, right? But no, it's got like copper in it, but it pulls your shoulders back, so it keeps your posture good during the day. Love that. And then on Uncommon Goods, we list throughout these gift guides because they've just got such a variety of really great gift ideas. So with that, I just want to say I hope you really enjoyed this video version of our 5th annual 2025 holiday gift ideas for older adult wellness. And again, don't forget to check out our other 2 gift guide ideas for caregiver wellness and for wellness in the home. You can also find all of this is going to be as well on caregivingclub.com. So you can read about it. We'll have links to all of the shopping sites. You can also then read about the former gift guides that we've done in the past years, but also that we've done the last 4 years. We've done video versions of our gift guides. So you can check those out on our YouTube channel. And don't forget to subscribe. We're trying to gain subscribers for the new year. And I just want to say, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and we hope you have joy all year long. Take care and stay well.